evening, good evening. Hey, welcome to Firefest 101, the Caribbean Voice presentation of a mind-body connection. Tonight's topic, well, it's a child-parent relationship. Keep it locked as we get situated right here in the Firefest studio.
दिल मेरे ना और इंतजार कर दिल मेरे
Good night to Mr. Riyad Rashid. Good night to Chandra Peters. Russell, how you doing this evening? Good night to the beautiful Bibi Ahmad from Guyana, the Caribbean Voice member and coordinator. I hope everyone is being safe today. How are you, Mr. Hiram?
Well, Shanaz, good night, good night. To all my friends out there, welcome to Firefest 101 Radio, the mind-body connection. Shanaz, it's so cold outside.
It's one of the coldest one of the coldest days so far that I've encountered.
But we are ready and fire up for tonight.
That's right. We have some really hot tunes to keep you entertained with some conversation and some tips Mr. Hiram pulled up today. So keep it locked right here on Firefest 101, the mind-body connection.
इश्क है तो इश्क का इजहार कर इश्क है तो इश्क का इजहार कर
I love you like crazy I want you like crazy किसी और की न होने दूं मैं मेरी जिंदगानी
We love you like crazy. That is the Caribbean Voice. Let's be the first to ask you, how was your day? A simple question can mean a lot to someone. Am I right?
Yeah, you are correct, Shanaz. Greetings to Debbie Roberts, BB Anthony Singh. Guys, thanks for watching. Please share our video. Encourage your friends to watch it.
And the most important thing, let us know what your opinions are. Share your comments and your thoughts in our guided Firefest 101 chat box. That's where the place is to share your comments.
Yes, and we want to have you in this conversation. You can always write your suggestion in the chat box and what you think, how we can foster a better relationship between a child and parents.
And if you have a really good relationship or an experience you would like to share with us, how to make other relationships better, well, it's a topic for tonight, and it's a hint for someone to make their relationship parent-child, child-parent. And that is so important to us because guess what? We bring children into the world. They didn't ask us to bring them. So it's
Correct.
our well-being and it's their well-being to get taken care of.
You are absolutely correct, Shanaz. That's how we do it. And so, like I said today, I really want to be a child advocate tonight.
Wow.
And so, yes, I want to be an advocate tonight. So we will talk. And
We're all children, so we're all advocates for children
right,
advocacy.
yes. Fortunate, I got let's say three
Two,
sons, and you
right.
got.
I have kids,
you
so
got
and I'm
two
always
daughters,
surrounded with the kids, my nieces and nephews. I'm always around kids, and yes, it's a great topic, and we should pay close attention to our youngsters growing up.
Exactly.
They are our
so.
number one.
Yes, yes.
तेरी जिद से आ रही हूँ मैं मेरे साथिया मुझे है पता तेरी बेकरारी हूँ
तो तुझे पलकों में छुपा के रखूं आजा महबूबा तू मेरा एतबार कर इश्क है तो इश्क का इजहार कर इश्क है तो इश्क का इजहार कर
I love you like crazy. I want you like crazy.
I love you like crazy. I want you like crazy.
Meenwati Ramprasad, good evening to you. Linda Singh, one of our Caribbean Voice members, good evening to you. John Nimmet, how are you doing today? Yes, it was indeed very, very cold. Good night to Shanti Singh, how are you doing tonight? Everyone is cold. I hope you guys are safe. Make yourself a warm cup of hot cocoa or some tea as we'll keep you entertained. The Caribbean Voice presentation of a mind-body connection by Firefest 101. Thanks to Mr. Mahendra Ramkilawan and the staff of Firefest 101. Let's say thank you to all the donors who've been donating for Caribbean Voice, a non-for-profit organization making headlines in Guyana when it comes to domestic violence. Suicide prevention is everybody's business. That's our motto.
Yes, and then we would like to say on behalf of the Caribbean Voice and all the members, we would like to say thank you very much to Neela, Pawaro, Narain. We want to say thank you so much for your donation to us. It was generous. I know you were kind of modest and you did not want people to know. But you know, Neela, we need to let people know that there's still good people out there and there's still kind people. Thank you very much, and I hope that other people follow suit with you because you know the Caribbean Voice. We depend on you guys sometime, and to continue with this program. You know,
We
we
need
have
your love. We need your continuous support. So by sharing our link, you're already supporting the Caribbean Voice.
yes, and we thank you guys so much.
नाम वाम मैं क्या जानू रे घर वर नाम वाम मैं क्या जानू रे जानू तो जानू बस इतना कि मैं तुझे अपना जानू रे दिल विल प्यार प्यार आदत नहीं कि सोचूं कितनों में हसीन है तू लट में है कितने घूंघर नैनों में कितना जादू बस तू मोहे अच्छा लागे इतने ही से मुझको काम रे लटवट नैन वैन मैं क्या जानू रे लटवट नैन वैन मैं क्या जानू रे जानू तो जानू बस इतना कि मैं तुझे अपना जानू रे दिल विल प्यार प्यार
Old is gold as we take you down memory lane with all the tunes we enjoy. We hope you guys are enjoying the music too. Anthony Singh said, well, noteworthy that parent-child relationship should be initiated at a very early age. That's right. You should always make time as they're growing up. Make one-on-one time for your children and one-on-one time for your, sons and daughters. Hey, Shelly, good night to you. Thank you very much. Mr. Rudy Matadine, yes, I would love to be wrapped up right now, but we are here, so hope you're very comfortable. Debbie Roberts, good night to you. Minwati, thank you very much. Adarshini, good night to you. All vibes, and we will get in conversation with Mr. Hiram tonight.
Yes, thank you. Thank you, guys. Welcome back again to Firefest 101 Radio, the mind-body connection. So, being a parent, we want to know what kind of qualities we should really have. If you're new to the idea of parenting or care to work on improving your skills, you may find yourself asking the question, what kind of characteristic does a good parent really do have? To prepare.
And keep in mind that parenting didn't come with a manual, as we all know. We're not expert at this. We're all first timers.
That's correct. That's correct. To prepare yourself for the job ahead or to remind yourself of your parenting priorities. Parenting is a journey that takes plenty of patience and understanding, and there is no perfect recipe for what makes a good parent. As you said just now, we don't have a manual to tell us, what to do and what not to do. We have to rely on our own instinct to make decisions and handle the behavior of kids. While much of your parenting journey will very depend on your child actions, cultivating these qualities in yourself will go a long way towards providing your little one with a stable and loving home. Like I said before, Shanaz, I really believe that, as you said earlier in our conversation, that, children were not asked to come into this world. And I'm so passionate that I believe that every child that comes into this world should be in a stable, loving home. And as parents, we should have somewhere where they feel secure.
And loved.
So, yes, so we must have them. And, we cannot go without love. Love wins the world.
Right? Every relationship. And we focus, let's for instance say a boyfriend and girlfriend relationship. We pay attention to the other partner, right? The boyfriend, the girlfriend.
Mm-hmm.
We need to nurture our children and show them that same love and affection so they will know, and sometimes just a hug will make you feel a lot better. And for those of us who have children, no, it's not easy. It takes a lot of time and effort to make sure our kids are well-mannered and educated and adapt to society and adapt to the life.
Yes, and as you said just now, we were talking about love. Love is the most healing force in the world. Nothing goes deeper than love. It heals not only the body and the mind, but also the soul.
Well, I have a lot of love to give, and I'll give you guys by playing all my favorite tunes tonight. So let's go.
भाई तुझका दिन आया, भाई तुझका दिन आया।
गुड़िया जैसी बहना है, भैया का ये कहना है, सुखी रहे बहना मेरी, दिल ये दुआएं लाया, दिल ये दुआएं लाया। तेरे जैसी सबको बहना मिले, बहना को मन चाह सजना मिले, तेरे जैसी सबको बहना मिले, बहना को मन चाह सजना मिले। हो लंबी उम्र तेरे सिंदूर की, पड़े नहीं गम का कभी साया, दिल ये दुआएं लाया, दिल ये दुआएं लाया।
गुड़िया जैसी बहना है, बहना का ये कहना है, जीता रहे भैया मेरा, भाई दूज का दिन आया, भाई दूज का दिन आया।
का ये कहना है सुखी रहे बहना मेरी दिल ये दुआएं लाया दिल ये दुआएं लाया
ओ मेरे भैया
ओ मेरी बहना
ओ मेरे भैया
ओ मेरी बहना
Beautiful oldies indeed for a beautiful Monday, cold Monday, I should say, in NYC, where I believe Connecticut is a little cold too. But for those of you enjoying the program from Guyana, enjoy all the heat. And from the Sunshine State, good night to each and every one of you. Hey, Mr. Bobby Prasad, good night to you. Anthony Singh, hey, the famous Anthony Singh.
Yes, Shanaz, I really want to big up this guy. I know him from a young guy in Guyana. I'm very proud of him. Actually, I know his mother. I taught his mother in Guyana Red Cross Society. And I'm so proud of him because you know what? This guy is doing great things. Actually, he represented Guyana on so many levels, on so many occasions. He's living in New York now. I don't know how long he's going to be here, but he's doing a great job. He went to one of the high school in Guyana, in Georgetown. So, Anthony, I'm very proud of you. I hope that you continue to be a good role model for the youngsters that's growing
And
up in
inspire
Guyana.
others.
Also, I would like to say hello to Joan Kam. Joan Kam is one of my good friends. We went to school in Guyana. She just recently lost her only daughter in Florida to brain cancer.
Well,
And
our
to
sincere
Joan,
condolences
yes,
and sympathies to you.
Yeah, I'm so sorry that Joan, that I think of you every day. I wish you all the very best, my dear darling.
It's
And
one
I
of the
keep praying
hardest
for you.
pain you
Yes.
can endure,
I-
losing a child. Or,
Exactly. So when she was there for her daughter, in every step of the way, she had a good position in Guyana. Joan, we love you here. Also to Somnath from Anna Katrina in Guyana, and my very good friend, my young days friend, Bibi Singh, is watching from Guyana. From a young boy, I used to go by their house all the time in Guyana. So let's
Bibi will know a little secret about your childhood. So if I need
Yes.
to know a little bit more. Hey,
Yes.
thank you, Auntie Minwati. Thank you very much, Henry. How you doing? And Linda Singh have a question. She said, how is parenting different today from years ago? And what are some of the challenges parents face as their children are parents and didn't face years ago? Well, parenting did evolve. It changed a lot.
Yes.
And what I'm proud to say is a lot of fathers are being involved in childcare now
Yes.
and parenting more than before.
Exactly. So let's go as our program. But Linda, I will get right to where you are because I have that same question too. And together, I hope that we all could say something. So we as parents, patience. It's true. Patience is virtue. After hours of clean up toys, spill milk, and hearing your child ask the same question over and over again, it's no wonder so many adults have hard time keeping up their patience. If you're single or at home parent, make sure you have some personal time for yourself to unwind and recollect your thoughts daily. Raising a child who demands attention all day long is sure to test your last nerve. Shanaz, you got 3, I got 2. Yeah, but keep it in mind, a healthy dose of patience is sure to make the task of parenting so much easier and more rewarding. Try to laugh when you want to scream and to find the innocence in the child's question and answers, right? And their actions. If you act with patience, you will find your child become more easy being himself or herself in your company. Together, you will grow in a sound, the child will grow in a sound and stable environment.
Listen is one of the key right now because back in the days, parents didn't listen. They always is, I told you that, or this is how it is, and you
Yes.
have to follow it.
And I'm
Well,
mommy and I'm daddy, you got to
yes,
listen to
and
me.
you have to listen to me. Well, time change, parent change, and we have a lot more equipment and material to engage in conversation. But listening is one of our key because when you listen to someone, you have to give them your attention and try not to judge them, but listen and give them an ears because they might have something on their mind they need to unleash to you.
Yes, and make sure no matter your child age, that you take the time to listen to them. Acknowledge their thoughts will help them develop the confidence they need later to take risks and challengings themselves.
That's right. And a hug goes a long way.
Oh yes, I have
Hugging,
them.
I know you're very affectionate, so give them a hug. Sometime growing up into teenager and adolescence, they said hugging is not that cool anymore, you know?
Yeah.
They don't want to show that what's affection, but they all need a hug. We all need a hug. As
Yes.
we get older, we realize our physical aspect are very weakening, so affection becomes a very important part.
You're talking about hug. I hug my boys at least every day, and I tell them how much I really do love them. And it is true. And
It means a lot.
yes.
That physical contact is a stress reliever and it's good for your health, letting them know.
Yes.
You know. So during teenage years, as we said, they become very reluctant. But as parents, we have to say, well, if you don't need a hug, I need a hug. Then they will
Yes.
come and give you a hug and make, both of us will feel better.
In fact, I play with my boys and I tell them, you know what, you like mommy more than me. And then he will come and show himself, the big one.
I saw that.
Yeah, he will come show himself for me. Daddy, I don't. I like both of you.
That is
You
good.
know what I'm saying?
And you have to speak to them, as they said. Sometimes as adults, we feel like children are mini us, but they're not. They're just children.
Yes.
They are very observant. So whatever we're doing, we have to make sure we're at least doing it the right way.
Yes.
They're very copying.
Yes,
everything.
I see Selector Abid is on.
Hey, good night to Selector Abid, #1 DJ in Canada.
Yes. He's always got a lot of energy when I look at this
He
boy.
is he's like the Energizer Bunny, and he keeps
Yeah.
it going and going. And
Yeah.
I see him he's piloting a plane recently.
Yes, I see that too.
So good night to you, Selector.
ओ दिलरुबा
ओ साजना
हमें तुमसे प्यार हो गया चुपके चुपके मेरे सनम तेरी कसम मेरे सनम तेरी कसम कैसा है जादू दिल पे न काबू तूने ये क्या कर दिया
नजरों का वार हो गया चुपके चुपके तीर दिल के पार हो गया चुपके चुपके
दिल तुम्हें दे दिया चुपके चुपके
दिल हमने ले लिया चुपके चुपके
ओ दिलरुबा
ओ साजना
ओ दिलरुबा
ओ साजना
हमें तुमसे प्यार हो गया चुपके चुपके दिल हमारा खो गया चुपके चुपके दिल तुम्हें दे दिया चुपके चुपके दिल हमने ले लिया चुपके चुपके ओ दिलरुबा
ओ साजना
ओ दिलरुबा
ओ साजना
You are locked on to Firefest 101, the Caribbean Voice presentation of a mind-body connection. Tonight we have Mr. Hiram Rampersad in the studio, and we're talking about parent-child relationship. And it's very important that we make that bond. And I said, thank you very much, Mr. John Hassan Khan. He said, I notice nowadays people have bond fear in relationship, which could be true. You need, as parent, we need to establish that bond. We can't wait for the child to come and say, Mommy, I need one-on-one time with you, or I need to have lunch with you, or I need to sit down and tell you something. It's good on a daily basis to ask them, how was your day? Especially if you see they're acting out or they're throwing a tantrum. Why you did that, Sit down with me, tell you, show me your emotions, let them express themselves.
Yes. going back to Linda saying question, how is parenting different today from years ago, and what are some of the challenges parents face, right? So Linda, and to some of my friends that's watching, it's very different. Some of us grew up in Guyana, and we
The
migrated to the
Caribbean,
United
right?
States. It's very different. Back then parents had all the say. It's like you didn't have a voice as children in Guyana, whereas the United States now, and even some people in Guyana, children have a say and children ask questions. And I'm going to give you an example. Like in Guyana, you hear your parents will tell you, "Oh, children fall from the sky," and all these things. I'm being very honest with you. My
Instead of
boys,
sitting down and have
yes,
a one-on-one and answer their curiosity, they give them the wrong answer. So now they will go to other people, or they would have that in their mind that, okay, children fall from the sky.
yes. And for example, my boy is 11 and one is 10, and they could tell you exactly the whole process of how a child is born and all these things. And no, I don't tell my boys that you fall from the sky. It is not true. I don't want when they go out and meet their friends
And they talk, and they
their friends
don't
going to talk
like they're
interesting
not
and
knowledgeable.
educational things,
Right.
and then my son is going to say, "Well, my daddy tell me we fall from the sky." You know what I'm saying? And Linda, one of the good things that I like, my children, I watch Ken and Kevin, how they talk to mommy sometime when they talk to me, and they're so educated, and it is so interesting to have the interactions. I sit down and I watch them and I listen to mommy and say, "But you need to talk to Ken and Kevin there." But I like how they argue back and they talk back, and in a respectful way. And
But
we
they're
should,
comfortable enough to discuss it with you and
yes.
go along with it.
Yes, and like my little one, he's 10, and he would come say, "Daddy, I need to have a conversation with you." And I'm like, when I was at that age, I don't and probably know the word what conversation is really about. You know what I'm saying?
When your father
So-
walk in the door, you walk
yeah,
to your room.
yeah. And back then, Shanaz, when you see you get visitor home and your mother put one watch at you, what you do? You got to move, you run, right?
I know
Whereas here now, and I really do encourage my boys and encourage people to have a conversation with their children. Don't lie to them. Tell them the truth. Expect the truth from your kids.
And at what age, that's what age appropriate. Not all information you'll give a 3-year-old, you will give a 10-year-old. So appropriate
Yes,
information.
you have to, what's age appropriate for them. You know what I'm saying? I would like to say, Linda Singh and Linai, two of our ardent listeners. And
Hey,
they're
good night,
so
Auntie
kind.
Linai.
Yes, she's always giving positive messages.
Yes.
And Linda, thank you guys
We
for
love
helping
your
us out.
feedback and your interaction. Let's say namaste to the famous John from Queens.
And to Kayum Khan, he's a police officer. He's from Guyana. He's a police here in New York, a wonderful guy.
Oh,
I
good
know
night,
he
Mr.
does-
Kayum.
You know him? He does a lot of things there for the community too.
Yes, we were at the Diwali parade together, and Diwali and all the events on Liberty Avenue.
Yes, and Shalini Ramatar from Lenora, my village too. Thank you guys for the support.
And let's read Anthony Singh's comment. The father role
Home is imperative, especially when a male child is involved. Father-son relationship is equally important. Having been the gender affair officer in Guyana for a few years, I can speak to the damage done because there was a lack of fathers or proper role model in their lives of young men. Just last night, I was doing a paper on crime prevention, and it was found that a large percentage of inmates came from broken homes without a proper role model, missing from home. I absolutely agree with you. And that's why I really do believe that, it is important for both parents to work things out, because, as a detox nurse too, I see, when I'm interviewing clients when they come in for admission, and I'm talking to them, and when I ask them how was their life, and they would tell me that mom died
Their
young,
childhood
or
trauma.
mommy and daddy separated, I was raped. So all these things really could cause a problem, could influence your life. So
Right.
I always believe, and that's why I said your child should have a stable home.
It's very important.
It helped them to face the world, and this world is full of trickery sometimes.
And
So-
bullies.
Oh yes.
And they could always make you feel less than. And I notice, like, for instance, kids don't like to go to school and said my parents are separated because they feel that they'll be isolated, they'll be left alone, or someone might not like them because,
Yes.
their parents are like
Yeah,
that.
my two boys, I tell you, they are something else. And I, you know what? I put it this way: You know, Shanaz, I am from Guyana, and I always say it proudly. I'm from Guyana, and you know, I didn't take a lot of education when I was in Guyana, but I'm so glad the kind of guy that I am today. And I want my boys to be the star, to better me, to do good in life. You know what I'm saying? To be good children,
Individual and
good.
sons.
And I tell them, I'm not playing. You guys have to treat your wife good. You know what I'm saying?
And you're
So-
an example because I know you treat Miss Gita well with respect and
Oh,
love, and
she's
growing
the
up,
queen.
they will see that.
Yeah, I say that Gita got too much Jalar sometimes.
So the question is, did she come home to a hot pot of soup
but
today?
Gita got a lot of people in the house to cook. I really don't cook. You know.
Hey, good night, Mr. Romeo C. Badal. How you doing? Salim Khan, good night to you. Anthony Singh, thank you very much.
Bibi Hack, thank you very much. You're always a positive person too. Now, Linda Singh, why do some parents rather spend money on their things and not spend on their children education? You know, I can speak for myself.
Let's
And-
buy them a new laptop. Buy them the latest gadget of phones instead
Oh,
of getting
Lord.
them tutoring session
Yes,
or
yes.
putting them in an activity that would empower them.
Yes, and I always like to, and I tell my boys every day, you know, like I told you before, I was doing 2 full-time job, and it was hard, it was tough, and I always remind my boys how tough and how hard I work in this country, and I would be very upset if you don't take your education or, you know,
Because you
waste
have
your
the
life.
resources,
Exactly
Guyana, you
so.
have to struggle to go to school, and you have to get uniforms, you have to get books. Some parents can afford that for their kids, but here we have the luxury
Yes.
and the transportation. Everything is 10 times easier, and if you don't take it for, you take it for granted, you snooze, you lose.
Yes, and the other day I was showing my Kevin. I said, listen, there was a little boy I see was sleeping in some coconut.
I
And-
saw that post and I did bring it to my kids' attention.
Me too.
I said, on a day like today, we should all be grateful for what we have. If you have internet and you have a roof over your head, you are very fortunate.
Yes, and count your blessings. You know, Shanaz, one of the other things that I like to do with in fact, children and people on the whole, keep things positive. Look at the glass half full
and
rather
not
than half empty. You know what I'm saying? Look at the good thing and the
On
good side of
today
people.
is a really good day for an example because we all complain we have to go to work. And today, sitting in my very warm office, I'm thinking of others who have to work outside in this frigid
same thing in
cold.
me, yes.
I was like, we all complain, oh my God, we have to go to work, but we have
Yeah.
such a good, comfortable job that we should be grateful. Every little thing we have, someone needs that more than we do. So we should have an attitude for gratitude. Hey, good night to Bibi Huck.
Yes, she's always positive too. We recently became friends on Facebook. Thank you very much for all your
One
messages.
of the biggest Facebook group on Facebook.
Yes, yes. So let's go with understanding. Listen only goes far when understanding isn't attached to it. Make sure your child speak. You not only listen, but take the time to understand their thoughts, fear, and concern.
For instance, if you're driving, take the music down. So just don't keep it so they have to shout for your attention. They
Yes.
will know you take the music down and you have that one-on-one time with them.
Yes, like, and my boys would put me to my place sometimes. You talk about that. They would say, Daddy, I need your undivided attention.
That's good. We
So-
should all raise our kids to be a little outspoken. So let them know when they can come to us and approach us. Or, we should always be approachable.
Yes, understanding their worries and woes at home and at school and ensure them that they matter to you. Like, Shanaz, I tell my boys, I love you so much, and I want you to do well in life. Every day I try to tell them that, and I tell Geeta the same thing. Let me put that one in. I always tell Geeta how
Yes.
much I really do love her. Sometimes we fight, and we are not perfect, like I tell people. You know what I'm saying? When you understand what's, sometimes what is small to you may be something very
Humongous
big
for
for
someone
them.
else, right?
So you reach their level of understanding that is bound to bring you closer and together.
Right. That's a bond, especially if you find something that you both have an interest. Or sometimes if your kids say, I have a hobby. You're not good at football, but I love playing football. Do not discourage them.
Yes.
Try to make that something of your interest so he will also gain interest in that.
Yes.
And pursue it.
Exactly.
Hey, good
so.
night to the beautiful Deepa, Dasrat, Roxanne Campbell. Good night to you, Bibi Huck. I hope you're doing well in Toronto, Canada.
Yes, and my friend Roxanne, you know what? I hope that we can bring her in one day. She is a alcohol drugs counselor. We work at the same place. A very pleasant person. I love her. We have been working for like probably 7 years, and we have plans to bring her in one day. To my sister Anita Dowlat Ram in Canada, Thanks for watching. Deepa Dasrat, she's from Lenora. She's always tuning into. Thank you very much.
Let's say good night and happy birthday to Dr. Rafi Roseanne from your beautiful mom, Auntie Jenny Dasrat, all your handsome brothers, and hey, everyone here on the Caribbean Voice platform. That is one of our Guyana top doctors, OBGYN, Dr. Rafi Roseanne. Happy birthday, a really good childhood friend.
Yes, hello to Natasha Singh. Thank you for tuning in. Let's go. You want to play something?
Mm-hmm. We'll take you with an oldie, one of my favorite oldie, and we'll be right back.
मैंने भी तुझे देखा है कहीं पहले, याद आता नहीं
तुझे देखा है कहीं पहले, याद आता नहीं है कब कहाँ, ओ जाने मन, ओ जाने जा, जाने जहाँ। मैंने तुझे देखा है कहीं पहले, याद आता नहीं है कब कहाँ, ओ जाने मन, ओ जाने जा, जाने जहाँ। कैसे मिलके कोई अजनबी, कैसे पल में बने जिंदगी, ऐसे मिलके कोई अजनबी, कैसे पल में बने जिंदगी, जिसकी सूरत ख्यालों में थी, ऐसा लगता है तुम हो वही, मिल गई क्या खुशी, छा गया क्या नशा।
मैंने भी तुझे देखा है कहीं पहले, याद आता नहीं है कब कहाँ, हो जाने मन, हो जाने जा, जाने जा। तुमसे मिलने से पहले कभी मेरे दिल की ये हालत न थी, तुमसे मिलने से पहले कभी मेरे दिल की ये हालत न थी, चलती है सांसों में आंधियां, दिल की धड़कन ठहरने लगी, क्या पता क्या हुआ, होना है जाने क्या।
मैंने तुझे देखा है कहीं पहले, याद आता नहीं है कब कहाँ, ओ जाने मन, ओ जाने जा, जाने जहाँ।
की दुआ तुझे चाहा तू मेरा हुआ रंग लाई है दिल की दुआ तुझे चाहा तू मेरा हुआ
मर के भी अपना बिछड़ेंगे हम आज हमने ये वादा किया दिलरुबा हो गया
फैसला प्यार का
मैंने तुझे देखा है कहीं पहले
याद आता नहीं है कब कहाँ
ओ जाने मन
तो जाने जा जाने जहाँ
जाने जहां
जाने जा
Your health is your wealth. We want you to take care of yourself today. Remember, this session is sponsored by MedSpa, 718-708-1169. We do weight loss, body sculpting, cellulite, and skin tightening. Not forgetting all your facials. So call MedSpa at 718-708-1169. And we're back with Mr. Hiram.
Yes, thanks, Mr. Deo Gear, for watching this program. Please continue, please share our program, and thanks for watching. Let's talk about consistency. Life is hard enough for the little ones to acclimate to without a barrage of ever-changing rules. Practice consistency both in their routine and expectations. Not only does an established routine give children a sense of security, it helps them establish positive habits and can alleviate any chaos that comes along with trying to get a small child off to school or daycare. You know, you have small kids. It is so difficult for them to, send them off to school the first day. But I was very lucky that
Adapting to that environment, it's new.
exactly. So
Socializing, you have to start develop social skills.
yes, and before they start school, it's always good to do that. To take them around to meet different kids, to meet different people. You know what I'm saying?
I would say before you put them in school, they should be involved in, the park activities. Take them out and have some hours in the park or interact with other kids so they don't become, antisocial or have that problem socializing in school or class.
Yeah, and one of the things that I see that worked for me is that before the kids start out to school, Shanaz, I bought books for them, and they start to read a little bit when they, so when it's time to go to school, they were so interested. Daddy, I want to go to school. Daddy, I want to go to school. And so the first day we took them to school, they did so well. They didn't cry like some children cry and say, I want to go home, daddy, daddy.
I think
mommy,
they have
mommy,
separation anxiety.
Yes.
Some kid does. My nephew had that problem. You couldn't leave him for almost a few months.
Really?
He didn't want to leave my sister, and you had to stay there at least for a couple of hours until he's fully distracted, and then you could leave. So he had separation anxiety.
Yeah, I know some parents have to go and sit with their child for the first day, So, that's difficult. It's good to us from kids, from small kids, even like dogs. People say, you send your dogs to school and they do well.
Training is all.
Exactly. You
It's
take
all
them
about
around.
preparation of the mind. You all need to get to cope with it or let it process, and everybody processes it a little differently. Every child is different. They
Yes.
don't cope with things different, the same way.
And as we're talking about children, they're all different. We all are not with the same carbon copy. We
Right.
are all individual.
We're all our own
We are all
individuals.
different. We came with our own DNA. So, that's why you say don't compare children. And sometimes we do that sometimes as parents, but it's not a good thing to do. We shouldn't really compare kids.
They're all individual, they're all unique and gifted in their own way. We should all accept them and motivate them, encourage them to be the best they could be.
Yes.
We don't want to be a little Hiram. No, he should be his own person.
Yes.
But it's also good to, let him absorb the good qualities of a human being so he could be a good person.
And we're gonna get there when we talk about qualities of kids. What we should really tell them.
Okay, Linda have a question. She said, how should a parent punish a child when they do something wrong?
Linda, it's different back in Guyana and the United States. Back in Guyana, man, I used to get so much licks every other day or whatever. But here is very different. Here, we don't beat children as Guyana. We talk to our children, and you hope that they do well.
Well, you
know
pull
what
them
I'm saying?
aside, you talk to them calmly, and you give them a little bit of okay, babe, I expect you to do, this, or ask them why they react. There must be some way
A
that
reason.
reason why, what triggers that action, and then, tell them about it, warn them about it first time, second time. Well, maybe you'll take away a gadget from them, something that they love.
Yes.
Less hours on the game to begin with. Take
Mhm.
away the game, take away the movie night,
Yes.
until they start behaving.
Yeah, and that's the right way to do things. Is take away things that they like. And we have a PlayStation 4, and I always tell the boys, listen, I'm going to take those games away from you if you do not read.
You're right.
And they get serious and they run and pick up their book and read, because guess what? They like the games. They don't want me to take their games away. So that's a good way how we punish children. And I hope we have some time at the end of this program, near to the end of the program, we could bring in a little how you deal with children. In fact, adults who do drugs and other things, and I'll try to talk a little bit about that.
It does have an effect and impact on their lives. And we'll read deeper. That's right. She said, I believe in grounded for kids than hitting them. Right. Hitting them, I don't, that's like, depends on how much, you put a clap on them here and there, but too much of that is abuse. So yeah, ground them, put them in time off, let them read a book instead of doing something that they like.
Yes. And I would like to say hello to C. Mendez in Puerto Rico. He is a board guy too.
Oh yeah, I heard you're
he's
going
into
there
birds.
for judging of a competition.
Yeah, I'll be going to Puerto Rico. I think it's in May, sometime in May, to
Wow.
judge their bird show in Puerto Rico. And I always like to go to Puerto Rico. Mr. Mendez and his friends, they always treat the judges nicely, and they're a cool set of guys. So I was looking forward to go to Puerto Rico.
Wow. So it's not like you see, that's a hobby that you enjoys.
Yes.
And everybody should have something. It's like a distraction. And I feel if you as a parent have something that keeps you busy and happy and you're focused, you will treat your kids more. You'll encourage them to do something. But if you're not interested, or you don't have an interest or a hobby, you wouldn't be pushing them to have something either, right?
Exactly. So we have to set the tone for these children to face.
And they have
The
to be
world.
aware that there's much more to life other than coming home and watching the television or going on your phone and your gadgets or your computers for hours. By the way, it's very unhealthy to have your kid locked up in their room on the computer or in their games for more than 1 or 2 hours.
I don't like that business.
And
locked
television in
the
my
room.
house is a family thing.
Really?
Where it's movie. The television is on is something that we all could watch.
Yes.
I don't believe in rooms and kids watching their own television.
Me too. I
program.
tell my Kevin like to be in the bedroom. I said, Kevin, I'm not gonna have that. Stay outside of the room. Let's talk about empathy a little bit. Especially until they learn to speak. Parents need to be able to interpret their children's feeling when a baby is crying. It should be for a number of reasons. And as a parent, you should be able to tell what's going on. And I want to give one example. When Ken was a baby, he wasn't the guy who was crying. He didn't cry actually. And one day, I came home and his mom said that this boy is crying so bad. And I said to her, when the last this guy had a bowel movement, and she said for a couple of days, like what 2-3 days, and I says, all right. So my nursing came in there.
Okay.
So strangely, Shanaz, what happened when I was a little boy in Guyana, there was an older lady I saw. She had, I think her grandchild had constipation, and she took a soap, right? And
Okay. That's Guyana method.
Guyana method, and she took the soap, and she stimulated the rectum. And so I said, I'm going to do my little doctor thing, you know what I'm saying? So I went and cut the
Somebody's a
soap.
professional work for that.
So I went now and I took the soap and I cut the soap when I did the same thing, and he had a bowel movement, he stopped crying. So you should be, as a parent, know when your child is crying.
When something is unusual, something is
Why my child is crying?
And that is such an uncomfortable feeling because we had a patient, she's in her 40s or 50s, and it was so uncomfortable. It was very painful for her to be experiencing that,
Yes.
So I had to send her to the hospital, and they probably did what you did. But
Yeah. It's always good to be observant as parent,
Good night to each and every one of you. You're locked on to FIFS 101, the presentation by the Caribbean Voice, of course, the mind-body connection. Auntie Line, thank you very much. How are you doing tonight? Hey, Stanley Ramsaran, good night. I hope you guys are warm. We are cold.
Yes.
Where is Mr. Mahendra Ramkilawan? Big up to FIFS 101 Lounge, 131st Street and Liberty Avenue. Lazina Ishmael, good night to you. The famous John from Queens, good night. Thank you for all your help in editing my QP TV television program. Every Wednesdays and Saturday on QP TV, channel 56, channel 34. Check us out. You will see another presentation of the mind-body connection.
खत से पहले मैं आ गया
खत के बदले मैं आ गई
Well, special good night is going out all the way to Brampton, Canada. Good night to you, Mr. Ramesh Ali. How are you doing tonight? And my next selection is just for you. Thank you for joining us here on FireFest 101, the Caribbean Voice presentation of a mind-body connection. If you're just joining us, we are here every Monday from 8 to 10 p.m. And we love to hear your comments, your feedback, and we love to hear from Mr. Hiram right now.
Yes, to my friend Darla from Chicago. Oh, she is a beautiful lady. She is a singer too. Thank you for watching, my dear. I always see her at the National Cage Bird Show in Chicago. Also, Sabita Jailal, thank you very much for watching us. Sue from Trinidad and Tobago. And we want to big up Nico Vibes. Thanks for listening to us. And I see
And I
Mahadeo.
hope you're enjoying the vibes right here, Mr. Nico Vibes.
And Siv Sankar Mahadeo is watching from Cambridge, Canada. Thanks, guys, for watching. Yeah, so let's talk about, no matter how many positive parenting skills you have, none can rival your ability and willingness to love your children. Make sure you set aside time each and every day to tell them how much you really love them. A long hug, as you say, and a kiss before dropping them off to school. You are on top of things, Shanaz. The expression of love is by far the most important skills and trait you can give your child. When a child grows into a family surrounded by love, he or she is more likely to love in return. The act of love and expressing gratitude to your child is a gift that should never be withheld. While every other skill can be learned and modified as needed to suit your family needs, love is one of the most important skills of them all. And you're talking about this here, it's important to have your family, like your brother and sister and your extended family, to share your children, to help them out. I've been very lucky, and then I know that you are very lucky to have your sisters.
Yes, and it's very important to have your cousins spending time. We grew up with that back home in Guyana. We always, age appropriate cousins. We spend some time. You need that time. As we as adults need our own time, they need to be in their own peer.
Yes, my two sons, they're very lucky. Every year, summertime, they get to go to Canada and spend 2 months with my sister. She take them to canoeing and take them to do hunting and all these kind of things. And they're lucky that they have their aunt, my sister Naomi. She takes them on Sunday to church. She take them home by them. They're lucky they have their two cousins, and my nephew, they take the boys out sometimes. So it's good to bring in your extended family. It helps,
And every week I encourage on my TV program, I encourage family time. Make it a movie night, where you could have your children select a movie or your husband select a movie. Take turns selecting a movie and make it family night. Sisters, invite everyone over. And we've been doing that a lot. I actually watched maybe 12 movies since the year started. So.
What? You're doing a lot of watching. I have not watched one.
But I'm getting caught up, and I'm watching very different genres of movies, so it's very interesting.
Well, you're different from me. You're on the TV and all over the place.
I'm making time right now for like that movie night or game night,
That's a good
incorporate
thing.
family time. Have my sisters over, my nieces, and let's watch a nice movie, family movie that has a good message towards it.
Plus, you could get some fried plantain with some mango
Right?
sour and so on.
Why go out and make expense?
Yes.
A recent movie we watched was Baghdad.
Oh yes, I remember that movie. I watched it a long time ago.
Amitabh Bachchan, and I believe it had a very positive message towards parenting, parent-child relationship actually, because as the storyline is, Amitabh Bachchan had 4 sons, and they all couldn't take care of him in the time of need. While he was happy, they were there. They were having dinners and outgoing, and then when at the time when he lost his property and his job and everything, things started going south. They all decided to turn away or separate them. Instead of keeping your parents together, they separate them at an old age, which, it was a very nice movie. I recommend you guys watch it.
Yeah,
And then my guy, Salman Khan, came into the rescue, and he, of course, played the hero he was number 1, and rescued both of them, put them back on their feet. So parenting, and if you learn your children, you spend time with them now, they will spend time with you when you become older. They wouldn't just put you in a nursing home.
Yeah, but you treat your
instill those values.
and then what happens, Shanaz? It's good to treat your children, to let your children know and grow them with values so that they would not do that for you. And there's another thing to that, though. As a nurse, I'm telling you, sometimes it might be one of the best things that could be done for you because, in this country especially, being in a nursing home is not that all of a bad thing. From my experience,
The
what I've
care
seen.
you might need is not
Yes.
what you have at home.
Exactly. So one of the good things that happened I see in New York is that now, they have a home care agency where the agency pay a child to help
Or a
take
family
care,
member to
a
take
family
care of your
member to
loved
take care of
ones,
their
yeah.
loved one. Well, we would like to say hello to Mr. Anand Budram, who just joined us, and Miss Hasina Banu from
Good night to
Lenore.
Auntie Nafisa Bahano.
Yes.
Hey, Darla, how are you doing? She said it's frozen in Chicago. So good night to you. We're also very cold in NYC.
I see that somebody, Jenny Dasrat, she loves Shanaz. Oh, yes, I love Shanaz too.
Good night to Auntie Jenny. And yes, let's say happy birthday to her handsome son, Dr. Rafi Rozan in Guyana, #1 gynecologist in Guyana.
I see Anand Budram said elders are also significant in the growing process. Grandparents and senior aunts and uncle.
They have values they could add and wisdom to,
Yes, and let's talk about a little silliness, Shanaz.
Oh, let's talk about coming back to Mr. Anand's comment there. The same movie I'm talking about, Hema Malini was the grandparent of one of the son's daughter, and the daughter-in-law didn't want her giving her daughter any advice because she, of course, is the mother. So you have no right as a grandparent to tell my daughters or my kids what to do and what not to do. So one night she went out clubbing, and the grandmother has an intuition. She knows something was going wrong. She went out and found the guy almost raped her granddaughter.
Wow.
So she came in the right time because as an instinct, she went out. She knows, she heard, she overheard a conversation, what's going to happen. And from that moment, she realized, experience, sometimes it's good to listen to someone with experience.
That's the best teacher, Shanaz.
Yeah. So the movie was very nice. You have to watch it.
Yes, being silly and playing with your child can create a special bond between you, the two of you. When you're silly, your little ones, it gives you both the space to explore together and come up with a fun game just for the two of you. Being silly is one of the most fun aspects of parenting. It helps you both to have fun, release stress, and boost the level of joy in both of your relationships. So,
Imagine just tickling your son or your daughter, that joy, that overwhelming joy and laughter that they have. For a moment, everything just stood still. No worries because you're having fun, you're watching the laughter and his happiness. It means so much to you. It gives you a stress relief too.
yes, and up to about 2 days ago, I sat down and I was watching. I'm across from Ken and Kevin, and I'm always astonished to see how happy they are. And I tell you, I am so happy to see that they are happy. And as parents, we are happy when we see our children are doing good in life. And that's what we really
We should
want.
applaud them and encourage them. And when they do something that we're not, very expecting, something that they were expecting negatively, just talk to them about it, but don't crown them or don't punish them. There's always a reason. Sit down and talk to them as of why you did this way. Just explain. Maybe there's something logical behind it.
Exactly. So nothing beat a good parent. And like I said, we have a big responsibility as parents for our kids. We have to teach them the right thing in life. Let's talk about flexibility. For many parents, learning how to be flexible is an incredible, difficult, and not something that they anticipate having to learn prior to having a child. Flexibility means you are able to roll with whatever comes up with your little one. One day you may think you have got your routine down, and these children, they surprise you. You never know what they're going to do. It's something different and completely different. Keep in mind that although it's ideal to stick to a routine because it gives you the little one comfort, know that it is possible to do so every day, and it's best to let go of the ideas that one single rigid routine is best. So we are saying it's good to be flexible being a parent. Don't go just by one thing. You have to do this. No, you cannot bend this rule. You cannot break this rule. You know what I'm saying? No, be flexible. You know what I'm saying? If the child said, "Daddy, we going to school today. let's take another route. You can do that. It's not something that you're going to die or
Right,
whatever
right.
it is.
Or reprimand him for, even suggesting, let's take a route. We've been going to this route all the days, we've been going to school, so why should we change? It's always something good. Changes are good sometimes, and sometimes it's good just to listen.
Yes. We see Lena, I said, I came to this country. I work as a nanny for my green card for very wealthy people. These people never hit or scream at their child. They always sit and talk to them in a very respectful way. As a mom today, I learned so much how to raise my child and have a good relationship with love today. We are bonded together, and as a friend and son. As a man, he is 28 years old. He is still a mama's boy. Well, I could tell you from reading all Lena's posts, I could tell that she is really a good
Very involved
parent.
and a very good
Yes.
parent.
Yes, and I hope that you continue to do this, Lena. It's always a pleasure reading your posts, always positive and up. You're
Good
up
night,
there.
Mr. Rupesh Singh, all the way from Guyana, Emerald Production. Big up to you and your guys there in Guyana. Auntie Jenny Dashrat said the Bagban. That's the name of the
Bagban.
movie. That is the name. Thank you very much, Auntie Jenny.
And Alan says playing with children when they are younger and being a part of their silly worlds is a great way to build early emotional connection. And Anand is talking from experience, as you know, that he has spent many years teaching in the city schools here in New York. So he has a wealth of experience to share with us. Movie name, yes, Jenny Dastret says, Bagban.
Well, my next selection is going out to each and every one of you. Compliments of the Caribbean voice, a mind-body connection. Music is very soothing and it's very relaxing.
ये पौधे ये पत्ते ये फूल ये हवाएं ये पौधे ये पत्ते ये फूल ये हवाएं दिल को चुराए मुझको लुभाए हाय मन कहे मैं झूमूं झूमूं मैं गाऊं मन कहे मैं झूमूं मैं गाऊं हरियाली भरी इन घाटियों में महकती हुई इन वादियों में जीवन की बगिया खिल खिल जाए हो खिल खिल जाए रे मन कहे मैं झूमूं झूमूं मैं
मन कहे मैं झूमूं मैं गाऊं
कल कल बहती झरनों की धारा आने से चलती हवाओं की ठंडक दिल को इतनी सी मस्ती सी देती दिल को इतनी सी मस्ती सी देती सिहरन सी देती हाय मन कहे मैं झूमूं झूमूं मैं गाऊं, मन कहे मैं झूमूं, मैं गाऊं। गुलाबी सा मौसम सुहाना, नीले गगन पर हल्की सी बदली, प्यारा सा कलरव इतराते पंछी सोए, सपने जगाए हाय मन कहे मैं झूमूं, झूमूं मैं गाऊं, मन कहे मैं झूमूं, मैं गाऊं।
मन कहे मैं झूमूं, मैं गाऊं।
ये पौधे, ये पत्ते, ये पूरी हवाएं, दिल को चुराए, मुझको लुभाए हाय मन कहे मैं झूमूं, झूमूं मैं गाऊं,
मन कहे मैं झूमूं, मैं गाऊं। मन कहे मैं झूमूं, मैं गाऊं।
Old is gold. You're locked on to FireFest 101, the mind body connection by the Caribbean voice. Well, let's say a few signs or behavior that you cannot avoid or you shouldn't. It's dangerous if you avoid them. Let's see. Ignoring bad deeds, sibling rivalry, theft, disrespectful attitude. What do you think about disrespectful attitude?
Well, I don't go for that. You have to teach your children to be respectful at all times.
And especially when they're growing up,
Yes.
elderly come into your home, you have to say, greet them. If you're approaching someone, you say good night or
Yes.
good morning.
Yes.
Ignoring your bad deeds. Let's say your child did something wrong for the first time. What are you gonna do?
Well, you have to correct them. You always have to, you're the parent in here, in this relationship. And therefore, you have to set the tone and know what is right and what is wrong. And to guide your children, remember that you have to guide your children. And we're going to talk about that on our next segment or so. We will be talking about
We'll
that.
go in more details. Let's say you have more than one. They have siblings rivalry at home. What are you gonna do?
Well, I have two sons, and I try to tell them, you know what? There is no competition between the two of you. I don't tolerate that. I don't tolerate that. You guys are two individual. I like both. I love both of you. I don't say like. I love both of you. I like you for this one thing. I like you for the other thing. You know what I'm saying? And both of you are special to me.
You don't take sides.
No.
Right.
I want to tell you, you know what? I didn't get a good copy of, I just told Gita to send me this. And please, guys, bear with me if I didn't get it because it's not that clear for me to see. But I'm going to try. And I made two of this for my son. Gita says that she's not here.
Okay.
Okay, guys, I didn't know. Yeah, you hope you're hearing me now. And I did this two poster for my sons, and it's in my living room, and it's not that very clear, but I'm going to try to read it for my sons. And I said, before you were conceived, I wanted you. Before you were here, we love you. Before you were here an hour, I would have done anything for you. You are the miracle of our love and life. So I have two nice posters I did for both of
You
both
put
of
their
the
names
boys.
on them so
Yeah,
they're
I put Ken
individualized.
and Kevin.
Okay,
So
that is very nice.
I let them know that they are very important for me. They are my soul. I always write nice things up for them. You know what? I tell them to love each other, and I want my boys to really love each other because of the things that I see in life. Shanaz, we have to teach our children. It starts in our home, really, that we teach our boys our children that love starts at home, and that's where, as a parents, we have the responsibility to teach them right and don't encourage any kind of rivalry, because like I said before, that this is life is not no competition, and I live like this
You
because
teach them how to resolve their own conflicts and respect
yes,
each other's feelings without
exactly
taking
so.
sides, you know.
And the main word there is respect. We must respect each other,
Right.
each other's
And
feelings.
especially if you have kids and they have their own space, you have to give them their space. Don't have another sibling coming when they're doing something. You know, everyone need their own time and attention. So sometimes one sibling might, you see this all the time. You know, why did you touch my stuff? It's mine.
Yeah.
You have to talk to them about it.
And then one of the other things that I try to do, Shanaz, is that you know what, these things where you guys are fighting for, it's really material things, and it does not really matter too much.
Mm-hmm.
You know what really matters is that you and your brother or whoever have a good relationship with each other, because you will have to spend the rest of your years together.
You're fighting over a pencil. A pencil could be broken in pieces, but you're
Exactly so.
here today. You
Yes.
have to live with each other. And let's say
Exactly.
they went into a store
Yes.
and they picked up something.
Yes.
How are you gonna handle that
Well, one of
without
the
paying for it?
oh no, I can't have that, Shanaz. That's not gonna happen. I also, you know, as parents, and I don't want to say I bring it by my boys, and I tell them, listen, be content with whatever you have. If I cannot, and I really like that about Ken and Kevin, is that if I go to a store and the mother or I say, listen, I cannot afford to buy this today, I could buy it another day, they say it's okay. Or I see that Ken or Kevin will say to each other, listen, mommy says she don't have money to buy that. Mommy cannot.
Another time.
Yeah, mommy can't buy that
But
today.
I've been in stores and I see kids putting on a tantrum. They have to get this. They have to get this. What are you gonna do?
Oh no, I'm not gonna have that. They need some grounding time there. You know what? You don't have to get anything really. I mean, if you have money, you buy something that's tangible for them, or you
Right.
can even bargain them. Listen, you want a phone or you want the sneakers? I can only buy one. You know, you give them a choice. What really do you want? You want the phone or you want
And you have
the
to work
sneakers?
towards it. You know.
Yeah, and you always like you always reward good behaviors. Like you know, Kevin, and I'm going to tell him later on. I know he gets Student of the Month, and I, you know, every time like I think I told you before that every time he gets Student of the Month, he or Ken, we take them to McDonald's and they get to buy what really they like to eat. And all who is in the car, we all you know they get something to eat. I just take like 5 fries and just you know what I mean.
Just to be going with the flow.
Yes.
Yeah, disrespectful attitude, you have to pull them back. You never yell at them in front of a crowd. You always take them aside
Right,
and
right.
discipline them.
Yes.
And if they don't listen and they continue as well, they take away something that they love very much. And nowadays, everybody loves the PS4
Oh,
and
yes,
the
yes.
Switch and the Nintendo and all those gadgets. Or your cell phone, especially. I don't believe in kids having cell phone, but take away the cell phone.
You know what, Shanaz? I really, you know, sometimes when I look at that, I think that they shouldn't have cell phone.
And
But
they
then,
should.
but then in this time of the world where there is shooting in the school and
Right.
there's so many other things going on, you know what?
It's
Ken and Kevin
useful.
have one. It's
It could be
useful.
useful.
And then you never know when they come home, like the grandmother home, and let's say that she's upstairs and she can't open the door, that they could call me or they could call
it gives you a
somebody to
peace
get
of mind. You could get in contact with them, you know.
exactly so. Let's talk about creativity. Is an important skill to have as parent. Being in touch with your creative side can help you when it comes to discipline, make believe, plenty time, and most importantly, being able to see the world through your child's eye. You know, a lot of times, you know, we want to use our lens to see things for children. You know, in some ways, it's always good to have children and give them the opportunity to do things. To say things, to make
Especially
their
if
own
they're
decision.
creative, they're painting something as them because
Yes.
they have a vision. They might be seeing something that you're not seeing. What are they drawing?
Yes, yes.
You know, look at it from their point of view sometime or try to let them explain what they're doing.
Yes, and being creative can help you connect with your child and better understand their experience on a daily basis. And I love, you know, I love children to be, you know, to be independent in certain ways. You know, it's a good thing. You know, even simple things you can ask your son or your daughter or whoever you have. You can ask them, what do you think of this? And I do this sometimes. What do you think is the right thing to do here? To just see where their mind is
And
you
have
know.
their opinion
Yes.
because they'll feel very valuable that, you know, you asked me my input.
Yes,
You want to
yes.
know. You're listening to me.
Include them in the
Include them.
conversation. It's a
And
good
listen
thing.
without judging them. Listen and try to understand Because sometimes if you let things go a week and you don't catch up, like what's happening yesterday in school, what happened today in school, you can only bundle so much, and they might need to let it out. They need someone to listen to them before
Yes.
they explode and they become,
Exactly.
violence
Yes.
to themselves.
Yeah, and it's always good to talk to your kids after they come home from school to hear how was the day, like you said. What did you learn? And I always ask them, what did you learn from school today? And they will, play sometime, and they will say, Daddy, well, I learned this and I learned that, and it gives me like I say, it gives me great satisfaction to know that especially my boys, and I know that your kids doing really well, like Kenneth tell them,
Rewarding them.
yes, and
It's
like
very important.
every year that they go in different class, my boys, I tell you my head, and I tell people my head was so hard, Shanaz, and like I always say that I want my boys to be better than I am.
Yeah.
And all the things that I did, I want them to fly higher than I fly.
Right.
And so, for example, when they go to school and they know that every time the name call for student of the month, Shanaz, I get so emotional and I get so welled up. I like tears. My big son will tell you, like I tear up sometimes, and I get kind of sentimental because you know what? When I was at their age, I wasn't like them.
But you didn't have the motivation too as a
Yeah,
parent
at that time. Yeah.
to be motivating and inspiring you.
Yeah.
So, sometimes in a kind of way, what we don't have or what we didn't have back then help us to be a better parent right now. But growing up, my parents spent a lot of time. As I remember growing up, that's where we make the memories because we watch a lot of movies together at least once per week. That's our time. Popcorn. Keep it simple and
Yes.
spend quality time.
Yes, and then said, but be careful that the reward is not seen as end of the goal. Good behavior should be an end goal and reward both at the same time. Always look out for any behavior reaction that is out of the normal, positive or negative. And it is true, and I can tell you, as Anand is on
In the chat.
chat box here, as parents, sometimes our behavior in the home can lead on to the school, and I'm sure that Anand would see some of this as a teacher. Sometimes children, what goes on in the home, the teachers could see it at school. You know what I'm saying? And thank
Like
God
for
people
instance,
him.
if you're being shushed at home all the time and your opinion doesn't matter, you're gonna be the mascot at school because here you are, you're the leader. You want to get heard. You want everybody to listen to you. That's why sometimes they say you have a class clown because you overreact or they over misbehave.
Yes, and I see your friend Una Prasad is watching.
Good night to Auntie Una Prasad.
Yes, she is one positive person too. We are friends on Facebook. I'm so glad Actually, I'm stealing some of your good friends. Them.
It's
you know.
all right. Sharing is caring, and I have very good friends, as I said. Stick with people who inspire and motivate you. Do not surround yourself with negativity. So I could share my friends because they're very loving,
Yeah,
they're
thank
very
you.
fun, and very educated.
Oh, that's very nice, and it's a good compliment for all of your friends. Another thing that what we need to do, and back in Guyana, we really don't think of these things, but now we're here in North America, we're getting more wise and civilized.
There's so much more resources for us to read.
Yes, let's talk a little bit. And we did talk about self-care in previous episode of
The
on
Caribbean
5S
Voice, 5S.
101 Radio and the mind-body connection. Self-care is so important. It can be easy to place your needs on a back burner once your little one arrives. And you know what? A lot of people, when they get a child in their life, it's everything about the child now. You know what I'm
They
saying?
put everything
They
on hold. Forget about the husband. Forget about
Yes.
dinner. And I could speak, and my cousin will kill me if she hears me speaking about this. But
Yes.
every time you go in her place, and it's always messy, and I volunteered to do some work, she's like, "Don't you realize I have a son?" I'm like, "Excuse me, your son is 1 year old. He couldn't be possibly make all this mess."
Yes. And prioritizing your self-care is a huge protective factor when it comes to raising a healthy child. Parents who appropriately manage their own stress will in turn be more relaxed and thoughtful as parents, while simultaneously teaching their child how to regulate their own emotion in a healthy way. Having a child is an incredibly demanding, so don't forget to take care of yourself so you can be a better parent and be the best that you
could
can.
be right.
So, we are saying, you get a child, good. I'm glad. You know what? Make time for yourself, especially, a young mother. It's a first time experience for you, You don't know much about
It
parenting.
could be
So
overwhelming.
it could be over, you can get depression and depression, all these
Postpartum
things. So
depression.
it's always good to take care of yourself. And, you could always get your sister or your brother, like you. I know you have your sister.
Take some
Get
time.
somebody else to help with the baby a
With a
little bit
couple
so you
of
can
hours
relax
because
a
you
little
need
bit.
that time for yourself. So yeah, I'm always volunteering when it comes to that because I know how hard it is raising kids, and you're always there 24/7, or you go to work and you come back and you have to deal with them. So it's good as a family member volunteer to help out with your loved ones.
And I really do believe in it takes a village to raise a child. You know.
मेरे प्यार की उम्र हो इतनी सनम, तेरे नाम से शुरू, तेरे नाम पे खत्म।
तेरी खुशी से है खुशी, तेरे गम से है गम। तेरी खुशी से है खुशी, तेरे गम से है गम। तेरे नाम से शुरू, तेरे नाम पे खत्म।
मेरे प्यार की उम्र हो इतनी सनम।
मेरे सपने गुलाबी नींदें हो गई जवां। मेरे सपने गुलाबी नींदें हो गई जवां। लो आके तेरी बाहों में, लो आके तेरी बाहों में, मैं खो गई कहाँ।
हाजिर है जान जाने मन जान की कसम, हाजिर है जान जाने मन जान की कसम। तेरे नाम पे शुरू, तेरे नाम पे खत्म।
मेरे प्यार की उम्र हो इतनी सनम।
ओ, बिन तेरे एक पल भी मुझसे रहा नहीं जाए, बिन तेरे एक पल भी मुझसे रहा नहीं जाए। ये दूर दूर रहना, ये दूर दूर रहना अब सहा नहीं जाए।
तेरे प्यार भरी बाहों में ही निकलेगा दम। तेरे प्यार भरी बाहों में ही निकलेगा दम। तेरे नाम से शुरू, तेरे नाम पे खत्म।
मेरे प्यार की उम्र हो इतनी सनम।
एक छोटा सा घर हो, रहे दोनों वहाँ, जहाँ प्यार से मिले ये धरती आसमां। एक
Darla, good night to you. Good night to the founder, Mr. Anand Budram, and the rest of the Caribbean Voice crew, very hard-working crew in Guyana. Remember, the Caribbean Voice is a non-for-profit organization. Feel free to donate. Mr. Anand will put the link up on our GoFundMe. And remember, what is the title of his book that's out in the market right now?
The Slice of Life?
Slices of Life, that's right, and it's number one. I can't wait to see number one on the sellers list. We've been getting a lot of good reviews on the book. And remember, funds and proceeds from the book sale will go towards Caribbean Voice, so it's one good hand washing another, helping.
That's right, that's right.
Let's continue the good work of the Caribbean Voice. Good night to the warrior, Mr. Apache Warrior.
Yes, and you know what? If you want to buy his book, you can go to Amazon.com.
Right, Amazon.com. Thank you to Mr. Buddy Singh for reserving his copy. And Mr. Buddy Singh have a charity event, Chutney Wine, coming up April 27. It's in aid of Guyana, supplying medical equipment and everything that you may need that he's been doing in Guyana. I've seen you watch some of his posts. So yes, big up to Mr. Buddy Singh from We Got Aya Back organization. Chutney Wine is April 27. I hope to see you guys there supporting a worthy cause.
Yes, and let's talk about telling a lie. When you have a kid and they're telling a lie, Shanaz, explain, if the little ones start come telling you lies, you don't tolerate that. Explain that lying can cause others to lose trust in you. A better way to handle this situation will be to tell the truth. Your child should understand that even though she might get into trouble for the offense, that lying will bring additional consequences and loss of more privileges than simply telling the truth. Of course, you should still follow your typical method of discipline, such as taking away privileges, as we spoke earlier, which is appropriate. And I always tell my boys, you know what? I do not want you to lie to me, because from the time you start telling me one lie, I would
small one, it will get bigger, and it might get bigger if you don't know.
And then I would not believe anything you come tell me. Even if you come tell me the truth, it will be hard for me to really get back your trust. So please don't start your life out by start telling lies.
Mm-hmm.
And another way by doing that, and I'm going to say in a few minutes, is that you start as parents, don't really lie to your children. Always be honest and truthful to them.
Right, because we are role models, so what we do and what we say matters to them. The Slices of Life by Mr. Anand Budram. Check it out. The link is right there. Amazon. Get your copy today. And yes, good night to BB Hack. Thank you very much for your love and your continued support right here on FireFest 101. Lying is not very good, especially to children, because you don't want them to grow up with that. And so much more information Mr. Hiram have to share with us tonight right here on FireFest 101 every Monday, 8 till 10 p.m.
That's right, with a beautiful Shanaz Hussein, and I'm so lucky and honored to sit next to you too.
Well, I'm a little under the weather, so do excuse my look.
That's all right. Teaching your child character is one of the most important yet most difficult thing a parent will ever do. It is also a lifelong process that involves activities, daily instructions from parents and other role models, and learn from trials and failures. Like I said, we as parents, we should be the best role model for our children, because we spend so much time with them. Also, like I said, like my sons, they have their aunts and their uncle. They're very lucky. They have good role models in their life. And, it's a good thing to encourage. Like I said, it takes a village to raise your child, okay? Activities that can help build characters can be a part of everyday deliberating. Teaching character qualities you want to see in your kids can help them later to make good choices in their own life, Shanaz. And things that you can teach your children is like kindness. You teach them courage. You teach them to be determined, to forgive people.
The basic values
of life. And when I say, you teach them kindness, and I try to tell my boys, and if you have your kids, you see someone is begging on the street, you can give them $1, and that's a good way that you're.
Or an elderly trying to cross the road, cross them, It's good habits, good human being. Bida Barat, good night to you. Thank you, Auntie Una. Auntie Una said, I personally can't stand lies from no one. That's right. Lying is very bad. And, after lying to me once or twice, of course, you might not, gain that trust.
Yes, teaching your child to be kind to others is something that will stay with them throughout their lives. It's a true story.
And a little bit of please and thank you goes a long way. And nowadays you don't hear kids saying please or thank you or good morning or good night.
Yes.
Much less get a kiss good night when they go to bed. Well, I do all the time.
Yeah, and even when my boy's sleeping, sometimes I go kiss them easy and they don't even know. Help your child to find an activity that is challenging and encourage him or her to set a goal that can be attainable. You know what? you encourage your kids that, set goals that are reachable.
Hmm.
Don't set a goal that they cannot reach, or let them set something, they're going to walk a mile a day and they can't do it.
Or if you know they're struggling in math and they're gaining like 60%, don't say, expect you to get 100 by the next report card. You're setting their expectation and your expectation that high. Just say, don't worry, you'll get better grades next time.
And then what, they'll be disappointed in themselves and feel bad and so on. Help. It says forgiveness. Forgiveness is very hard sometimes for people to do. And if you train or teach your children to forgive people, it will be a beautiful thing. If someone hurts your child's feelings, putting oneself in another person's shoe can lead to the understanding and help your child to learn to let the offense go and move forward. And it could happen to your sisters, your sibling. Like they see if you and your sister is arguing, or you have a disagreement, that they see that, and what, you can even bring them and say, I have to forgive my sister. She made a mistake and it's fine. That's my sister.
Yeah.
We are there.
The way you
forever
talk to your
with each other.
parents, for instance, the way you talk to your parents, my kids will say, Mom.
Yeah. Another thing, what's a good thing to do is to provide example. One of the best way to teach a child character traits is to provide an example of those traits. You know what I'm saying? Like the things that you would want to see and the things that you like is the best thing to do is to live it.
And share your childhood experience with them also. Good night to Mr. Hakim Ali. Thank you for watching us from St. Lucia. Thank you very much for all your love and your support. Remember to share our link. Sharing is caring. We are the Caribbean Voice, a non-for-profit organization, here every Monday in the 5S studio from 8 to 10 p.m. with our co-hosts. And if you'd like to be here in our studio, do contact any one of the Caribbean Voice member, Mr. Anand Budram, Hiram Prasad, or myself, Shanaz Hussein, on Facebook.
Always try to teach your child to be confident in their ability as well as those other children. So it's always to let them know, go confidently. Don't be scared. I'll be there to support you. Right. Whatever you do, daddy support or mommy system is going to be there. Go confidently, and you can't go wrong. Encourage your children to speak uplifting words and encourage them. You know what I'm saying? Like Shanaz, you can tell your boys or your kids to say, you encourage them to do things. Don't always bring them down. Yeah, go and get it.
And recognize the good what they're doing.
Yes. Like when one of your kids get to the month, you let, wow, I'm so proud of you. I'm so glad that you get this. You know what I'm saying? So that's a good way to do it. And to be wise, read regularly and be willing to expand your child's education. Help them to read, either formally or informally. Stress the importance of education and back up your words by putting your child's education first. I always tell my kids, and I'm sure you do too, is education in one of the most valuable lessons.
That's something no one could take
from you. No matter whatever you got, they could steal everything from you.
You can have a house, you can have a car, but if you have education, no one can take that. You can lose everything tomorrow. And who knows that more than Anand Budram, you know what I'm saying? Very educated guy. So, yes, I always encourage kids, go ahead and read. You cannot go wrong. Remember to hug your child today. Hugging means a lot more than you can ever know. It's a bond. And it's a comfort. It's also a stress reliever for us as parents, knowing that you're there. They have someone to comfort them.
Exactly. So, we have good example of positive behaviors. When your child misbehave, this goes to
Linda Singh was asking, what do we do if a child have a tantrum? And that goes, if they have a tantrum at home, believe me, they will be in the corner for a few hours and time out.
Yes.
Think about what you did, right? Think about it. And then come and talk to me about your behavior. But if you have a tantrum, and I've seen this in stores, they throw themselves down, the kids, they have to get this. What do? You can't do spanking there because, the authorities might be looking for you.
I know that somebody will call 911 for you. So it's always, when your child misbehave, provide good example of how they could behave differently the next time can help the child to see how they could become a better person over time. Like I said, you have to know what good discipline,
good values,
action you would want for your kids. You know what I'm saying? Like we said before, take away something that they like to do.
Yeah, something that would hurt them or make them think about their behavior.
Exactly. So so that's a good thing to do.
Lene said, always teach your child to pray I always put God first in whatever I do. Thank you very much for sharing. Yes, the road, the communication to God is always there, and it's always good to meditate and, reminisce of the day and move on.
Yes, yes. Some qualities, like we said, to encourage your children, always be kind to each others, and you teach them to be kind to yourself, to your parents. That even when you grow older, they will be able to take care of you. And one thing I want to say to Shanaz is that, as parents, we need to treat our children rightly. We need to be respectful to our children, because sometimes, you know what, we don't have time for our children, but when we get old, we want our children to take care of us. And that's one reason why I said I really want to be a child advocate, if you know what I mean. No, treat your children properly now. So when you get older, they will return that same favor to you. You know what I'm saying?
Right, and you'll be proud to see them as young individuals that, doing something good and respectful individuals to society.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And it reminds me of my dad when I was a kid. As I always said that some of the things that he did to me was not right. But when he got sick, the first thing I did, I took a plane and I went to Guyana and I took care of him. In fact, I went and took care of him for 6 days. I made soup and I was feeding him. He didn't
So
even know
he was
nothing.
nurturing to you as a child. He was there. He was very attentive to you.
And I think that was the most I ever cried when he died, because I mean, some of the things was not pleasant. Guyana, how parents, they beat their children so bad, and so on. So when I went and took care of him, I was there crying, and I was like, all the things that he did to me and hurt me so much sometimes. But I was so
But you
glad.
were the bigger person,
Yes,
and you
and
reached out, and you.
I was able to forgive him for all the things that what he did to me, and I'm so glad that I am the man I am because of him too. I took a lot of the stones that was thrown at me, and I built a beautiful stairwell for my own self.
Wow.
And those things that I use them as a tool for my kids. And the mistake that my parents made with me, I am correcting it and making my boys' life a pleasant one. And I
Guideline
hope
for
that
you.
I can make them, like I said before, good boys, good role model, good husband, good
Good
neighbors,
friends, a good human to
friends.
society to
Exactly.
begin with.
So,
You can have education, but if you don't have love, compassion, and humility, you're not an individual.
and those are some of the good qualities that you could train your children to be. And the best thing you can do is to live those same qualities that you mentioned there. Use it in your own life.
I've seen doctors who don't know how to speak, very disrespectful, like they don't have the patience, and the way they speak to their patients, they're very, like, the basic values of speaking and patience they don't have. So how can you be a doctor? You need to be a good human being. Let's be the best we could be.
That's the best thing, and that's the first thing. Be a good human being. Above all, love always wins, and always in whatever you do, Shanaz, it's always good to put some love into what you do, and go back to say, and that we do a little talking, and to help our human being. No matter whatever job that you choose to do in life, wherever you're cleaning the floor or you're a doctor, or nurse, or whatever it is,
Make sure you
you know,
find joy and happy
yes,
doing
and
it.
give it your best shot. Give it your best shot. Do the best that you can do in this life. And I'm so glad, what I have, I'm not perfect, but I still want to be a great guy at the end of the day, to be a good human being, to be a good nurse, to be a good neighbor, to be a good husband. You know what I'm saying?
Good night to Auntie Jenny Dastrat. I know she raised some beautiful kids. One of them is Dr. Rafi Rosan of Guyana, and the other boys are well mannered, very good children you have there. Auntie Jenny, Ravina, good night to you. Auntie Una, good night. Thank you, Line. And Auntie Una said she have her sons pray before they go to school, before they leave to school in the morning. Hey, Saraswati, good night to you. Thank you guys for sharing. Sharing is always caring. We are the Caribbean Voice, a not-for-profit organization here in New York and Guyana. Please reach out to us, and if you know someone struggling with depression, remember, suicide prevention is everybody's business. You could be an advocate for the Caribbean Voice.
Yes, and thank you for watching us. Thank you for tuning in on Firefest 101 Radio and Facebook Live. We want to say thank you very much for watching us. Please do continue to share this program. So you know what, our little message, I'm hoping that it could reach to a lot of people, and hope that we could change somebody's life. It's always a
And
good
you
thing
could
to do.
start expressing your love to the little ones and be an example.
Yes, nothing beats example and love. And thanks to all of you guys for watching us. Please continue to share, like I said.
Do join us next Monday, 8 to 10 p.m. right here on FireFest 101 Radio. Thank you to the staff and management, Mr. Mahendra Ramkilawan, and support the lounge. The Mahendra Ramkilawan is a great guy. Thank you for your love and continuous support. Thank you for always encouraging us to be the best we could be. The Caribbean Voice, we're here and we're here to stay. Reach out to us if you know someone struggling with depression, alcoholism, or suicidal thoughts. We are here to hear from you.
And do have a pleasant week until we see you next week, Monday. All right? Take it easy and stay warm.
Auntie Bibi Hawk said she always let her children pray. Anything you get, always be thankful. Yes? Gratitude is the best attitude. Until next time, take care. God bless and all the best to you and yours. Be the best you could be to society.
Yes. Good night, everybody.